today also opportunity from next week I'll
p.m. Roll call. Nope. The University of Central Florida respectfully acknowledges that it is located on the traditional lands of the Ais, Appalachee, Calusa, Timucua, and Tocobago tribes, as well as the Seminole Tribe of Florida and the Miccosukee Tribe of Indians of Florida. Roll call and verification of quorum. Chair Gaudier.
Hagenbuck. Reed.
Present.
Olivia Smith.
Present.
Casimiro.
Present.
Capanos. Wacker.
Present.
Critchfield? Is that how I pronounce your last name? Thank you. Jane.
Present.
Perez. Kelly Perez. Sherman.
Present.
Danae Smith. Bililehi. Gentile.
Present.
Gregg.
Present.
Kaufman.
Present.
Licht. McNulty. Miller.
Present.
Patel. Rashid.
Present.
Rubio. Thompson. Kanuja. Cronova. Riggett. Hader. Magadia. Phillips. Boivet.
Present.
Montañez.
Present.
Nunez Ferreira. Wynn. Habgood.
Present.
Veronica Perez. Barber. Barrios.
Present.
Grosso.
Present.
Jones. Matthews.
Present.
McRae. Nurse Medevra. Randa.
Present.
Sheriff. Simmons.
Present.
Vieira.
Present.
Zivin. Callis. 29 out of 48.
All right. Approval of the minutes. Take a look at last meeting's minutes. And is there a motion to approve last meeting's minutes? And is there a motion to approve today's agenda? And any objections? Hearing none, is there anyone wishing to speak in open forum? Seeing none, announcements from the student body president, President Vicaria, given by Vice President Jones.
All right, good evening, everyone. Shivani could not make it, but she says, hi, everyone. I began BOT prep for the upcoming board meeting in June, working with Vice President Jones, Chief of Staff Arbucci, and Deputy Chief of Staff Lisman to help with the onboarding of our admin team, and good luck to those going through confirmation today. That's it from her. And then from me, good evening, Senate. This week, we have been finalizing the second half of our cabinet, completing E&A, and prepping for tonight's confirmations. Aside from that, I've been taking the time to meet with our new agency members in the Multicultural Center during their introductory training this week. And then lastly, I planned the first agency and department strategic planning board meeting with those representatives today.
Are there any questions for the Vice President? Senator Barrios.
Thank you. Do you know if President Vicaria told you about what time the Board of Trustees meetings will be at?
She is not, but I'm pretty sure that information may be online. I think they have to post that through their thing.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you. Oh, sorry. And the comptroller's report given by Vice President Jones.
All right, welcome, mate, as well. He says, hi, everyone. Wants to thank you all for the first or confirmation. And sorry, I'm unable to be in person today. I'm truly so happy and excited to be a part of student government. That being said, here are the current fund balances and reversion rates. CRT balance $29,606.23 with a reversion rate of 5.71%, and FAO balance $12,726 with 64 cents and a reversion rate of 7.01%.
Any questions that the Vice President can answer? Seeing none, thank you. Attorney General's report, AG Ruiz Bordas.
Good evening, Senate. I hope.
The green light.
Good evening, Senate. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. I'm so excited to join you all as a new member of your student government. This week, I've been working on updating statutes in our governing documents and providing statutory deadlines to the members of cabinet.
Are there any questions for the Attorney General? Seeing none, thank you. Cabinet Forum, none. Announcements from the Interim Chief Justice, Interim Chief Justice Hoffner.
Hi, Senate. This week, sitting justices have been working with associate justice appointees to prepare them for confirmations next week. I would like to thank Speaker Sherman, Pro Tem Kaufman, and Chair Grosso for meeting with me to discuss this process. Advisor Sampson and I met with Ryan and Emily from the Student Conduct and Academic Integrity Office to ensure our impartial advising practices remain aligned with the rules and regulations of the Conduct Office and to discuss additional opportunities for collaboration. In the coming weeks, I plan to meet with the Director of Parking Service to discuss the parking appeals process and how it can be made more streamlined and accessible for students and the judicial branch. And lastly, I would like to share a little bit more about the judicial branch. So I know we have a lot of new senators this session. So the Judicial Council is made up of 14 associate justices serving 2-year terms. Seats 1 through 7 open every odd year, so last year, and seats 8 through 14 open every even year, so that was this year. There are 3 leadership positions, which include the Chief Justice and 2 assistants, the internal and external assistant Chief Justices, which are judicial branches representatives in SGLC and JLC. The council has 5 working committees, those being the Internal Rules Committee, Precedent, Judicial Outreach Committee, Judicial Advertisement and Marketing Committee, and the Judicial Experience Committee. If you'd like to know any other information about the Judicial Council, it is all on the website as well as in our governing documents. Have a great weekend, and thank you to all the senators for the birthday card.
Any questions for the Interim Chief Justice? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the Interim Supervisor of Elections, Interim Supervisor Callaway. She's online. Guess not. She says, good evening, Senators. The Election Commission applications officially closed on May 15th, and application materials are currently in the process of being reviewed. Following the confirmation of Cabinet, we are hoping to begin interviews next week, so candidates may appear before ENA within the next few weeks. All right. They're vacant. So announcements from the Senate President. Good evening, everyone. I hope you've had a good week. As a reminder, if you're online, the expectation is that you keep your cameras on for the entirety of the meeting, not just during voting. And if you're in person, you still need to be on the Teams call for the purposes of voting. As we work through confirmations, just a reminder that abstentions are only to be used if you have a genuine conflict of interest, not if you just can't decide how to vote. Same as last week, we'll be sticking to a maximum of 3 questions and 1 minute of debate per senator per appointee. But that being said, especially for newer senators, please participate. ENA has a questioning diary that I've linked in my announcements that has questions for each cabinet position if you'd like to use that. My office hours for the summer are listed there. And this week I've been working on purchases with the leftover operations funds from last session's budget. We're currently waiting on a quote for polos, and name tags for Senate leadership are going to be ordered early next week once all those positions are filled. For those who are in Senate leadership, so that's the speakers and pro temp's offices, the chairs and the vice chairs, please fill out the form there for the name tags if you haven't done so already. My office is also working with Chair Perez to design merchandise for tabling so that we can get that ordered before the new fiscal year begins. For this year's operations budget, I'll be creating a tentative plan over the next week, and we'll share that information as it's decided. Finally, Pro Tem Kaufman and I will be meeting with Deputy Chief of Staff Listman on Monday to discuss the appointment process for Senate, with that hopefully getting started very shortly after we're done with confirmations. Any questions for myself? Seeing none, announcements from the Internal Legislative Assistant, Eileen Matthews.
Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great start to this session. This week, I met with the Chief of Staff to get to know each other. However, we will start discussing SGLC once the 2 judicial coordinators have been confirmed later this semester. if you guys have any edits you would like to be seen in either program SGLC or SLC, please let me know. I'm constantly looking for ways to improve both of these programs. I've also been working with the ELA with this week to create new tabling materials. And just a reminder, if you guys plan on collaborating with the Judicial Council, caucuses, or the Election Commission, please reach out to me before and CC me in all emails. And another reminder, please speak kindly in the office about student government. SGLC is right around the corner, and we want to be good examples for our new council members in the fall.
Any questions for the ILA? Senator Jones?
President voting.
So noted at 6:11 p.m. Senator Capinos?
President voting.
So noted at 6:11 p.m. Senator Callis?
President voting.
And Senator Hagenbuch?
President voting.
So noted at 6:11 p.m. Any questions for the ILA? Did I miss one? No. Seeing none, external legislative assistant report, Eli Smith.
Hello, everyone. I hope you guys had a great second week. As a reminder, please contact me for all graphic requests, anything involving the deans, and any media interview requests or questions. If you have any initiatives or plans involving these areas, please reach out to me as soon as you can so we can set up a meeting and discuss next steps. If you've already started anything involving these three things, that's all right. Just please CC me in any communication going forward and send me any messages you may have already sent. This week, I had my one-on-one with Ashley, and I worked with the ILA to create graphics for new tabling materials. I'm also working on confirming my office hours, but they are confirmed. It's going to be 3:30 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can find them on the speaker's door. But yeah, I can't wait to work with all of you.
Chair Phillips?
President voting.
So noted at 6:12 p.m. Any questions for the ELA? Seeing none, Senate President Pro Tempore report, Pro Tem Kaufman.
All right, hello everyone. This week I've been conducting orientations and have started talking with the DLEG about legislation. Please attend your committee meetings. And if you cannot find one that works for your schedule, some committees this week have been barely reaching quorum, and it is incredibly important that all committees are able to perform their business without having to worry about having enough members. Also, be sure to check your senator email if you missed day 2 of orientation. I still need to schedule orientations with a few of you. Next week, I will be meeting with fiscal leadership to begin discussions of the opening of the funding forms. Next fiscal training for the 2025-2026 fiscal year was due today. If you have not sent me your passing scores, I will be issuing notifications of noncompliance on Monday. And next ethics training is due on June 11th. Please complete this training by then to remain in compliance. And finally, my office hours are going to be Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Senator McNulty?
President voting.
So noted at 6:13 p.m. Any questions for the Pro Tempore? Seeing none, Deputy Pro Tempore of Legislative Affairs report, DLA Capgood.
Happy third Senate meeting, everyone. My only announcements are that the Pro Tem's office will be officially accepting legislation after today's Senate meeting. And in a change from last year, please CC Ashley on any legislation submissions. And also my office hours, if you do need me, are Monday through Wednesday, 10 to 12 p.m. and on Thursdays, 11 to 12 p.m. Thank you.
Any questions for the DLEG? Seeing none, Fiscal Committee reports, CRT Committee Chair Jones. Any questions for the CRT Chair? Seeing none, FAO Committee Chair Phillips. Any questions for the FAO Chair? Seeing none, ORS Committee Chair Casimiro.
Hey everyone, this week we elected our vice chair and conducted an ORS session. Congrats to Vice Chair Bolulehi for getting elected. We'll start seeing old business next week, so I'm super excited.
Any questions for the ORS Chair? Seeing none, internal committee caucus time, ENA 15 minutes. I recess this meeting at 6:15 p.m. to reconvene at 6:30.
Senator Nunez Ferreira. Okay. Belerehi. Licht. Boivet.
Present.
Capinos.
Present.
Pro Tempore.
Present.
7 out of 9.
make sure that
I think the last one,
really to
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So, reading through your proposal, you place an emphasis on religion and faith, and you mentioned student organizations like Muslim Student Association, the Sikh Student Association, Hillel. So, do you plan to also extend this to various the Christian denominations such as the Orthodoxy, who have different days of Easter, different feast days, and different branches of Orthodoxy? How do you plan to approach that?
Yes, so I'm answering this question because definitely have taken the time. I would say do it thoroughly.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you for being with us today. I was looking over the proposal and I love the initiatives that I'm seeing, love the energy. I just had a quick question about time commitments. I was looking over your resume and it says that you are a legislative intern for the Office of the Representative of Anna Eskamani. It says that you started that at the beginning of this year. Now, to my knowledge, those internships end within a 3 to 4 month period. I was just wondering, is that going to conclude over the summer? And what further time commitments might you have in this upcoming academic year that would kind of get in the way or might get in the way of you performing your duties? I just have one more question, if I might, Chair. I just wanted to ask on one of your proposals for the Pause and Peace, the on-campus service dog relief park. I had the pleasure of looking at Isaiah Romeo's portfolio and his proposals as well. And he had something of a similar idea. And I was wondering if you had talked to him at all about that, or if you think about working alongside him in getting those proposals out.
Move to debate.
Yes, this proposal appears to be very well thought out. I have no qualms with this candidate being confirmed. I move to vote on this appointment. Absolutely. Chair Grosso. I am in favor. Senator Rickett. Matthews.
In favor.
Nunez Ferreira. Rich. Bouvet.
In favor.
Capinos.
In favor.
Pro Tempore.
In favor.
7-0 to 1.
I was going to say, I move to adjourn this meeting pending final roll call.
Same as initial plus 1.
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, thank you. All right. So, was it after? She did. This is crazy. All right.
All right. I reconvene this meeting at 6:41 p.m. Internal committee reports. ENA Chair Grosso.
Some Pakistan may be necessary for next week's Senate meeting. Assuming
Any questions for the ENA Chair? Seeing none, GAP Committee Chair Reed.
Hi, Senate. Today we elected our vice chair, so congratulations to Vice Chair Sharif. We had a quick overview of the goals of GAP and what we're hoping to achieve this year in committee.
Any questions for the GAP Chair? Seeing none, LJR Chair Gaudio.
Good evening, Senate. Today we elected Senator Rubio as our vice chair. The votes were, we elected Senator Rubio as our vice chair, Senator Matthews was our SBA representative, and all absence requests which were seen were approved. As a reminder, tomorrow is the last day you can submit excusal requests for our first meeting because we had Memorial Day off. Make sure you're staying on top of your absences. There were issues with the voting record in the first meeting, so if you've noticed you've accrued a voting participation half absence, but you voted in both elections, please let me know so it can be addressed. Reach out sooner rather than later because you cannot request excusal after tomorrow if it's found the voting record is correct. For any other meetings where you have concerns with the voting record, please reach out to Maite.
Any questions for the LJR Chair? Seeing none, SBA Committee Chair Perez. Any questions for the SBA Chair? Seeing none, confirmations, I'll take a motion for speeches, questioning, and debates. Senator Berrios.
Move for a 10-10-10.
There's been a motion for a 10-10-10
Second.
and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we will go with that. And first is Kayla Montanez for Deputy Pro Tempore of Senate Relations. You will have 10 minutes whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kayla Montanez, and today I'll be presenting my proposal for the position of Deputy Pro Tempore of Senate Relations for the UCF Student Government 58th session. Thank you all for taking the time to be here and hear more about my vision for this role. So before getting into my proposal, I wanted to share a little bit about myself and my involvement at UCF. I am currently entering my second year at UCF pursuing a degree in biomedical sciences on the pre-medical track with a minor in medical sociology. Within student government, I currently serve as the College of Medicine Senator for the 58th session and have previously served as Outreach and Media Coordinator within the Student Government Leadership Council Marketing Committee. Along with that, I was also involved in Senate Leadership Council. Outside of SG, I serve as president of First Generation Medicine. I'm on the founding board for the Beauty Med Collective, and I am also a lead scholar. To me, the role of Deputy Pro Tempore of Senate Relations is really about connection. It serves as a bridge between Senate, registered student organizations, student government branches, and the broader student body. I believe that strong communication and collaboration are essential in creating a Senate environment where students feel comfortable engaging with student government. My overall vision for this role is to help foster a Senate culture through stronger outreach and collaboration opportunities and events. Since this position serves as a connection point across multiple areas of campus involvement, I think maintaining strong relationships and open communication with agencies and departments is essential to creating a more unified and effective Senate environment. My main goals for this position would be centered around strengthening communication and engagement within Senate and across campus. I want to strengthen communication between student government and RSOs so organizations feel more informed and connected. I also want to increase awareness of Senate initiatives, events, and opportunities because many students may not always know how student government can't support them. Additionally, I want to help create a more welcoming Senate culture that encourages collaboration and participation among senators. One of my biggest priorities in this role would be strengthening relationships with RSOs. Many organizations may not fully realize the resources and opportunities available through student government, so I would focus on creating more accessible and consistent outreach towards them. Some initiatives I proposed include monthly RSO outreach updates that highlight important Senate initiatives, funding opportunities, campus resources, and collaboration opportunities between organizations. I also want to hold informal listening sessions where organizations can share their concerns, their goals, and feedback in a more comfortable environment. Lastly, I would encourage stronger Senate representation at student organization events to help increase visibility and accessibility across campus. Positive relationships within Senate can improve communication, teamwork, and overall productivity, which is why creating a positive environment is something I value very strongly. If confirmed, I would work to foster a culture where senators feel included and comfortable sharing ideas and motivated to collaborate with one another. I believe when people feel genuinely connected within an organization, they become more engaged and confident contributing their ideas. Some examples of bonding and engagement opportunities include Senate socials, team building activities, and wellness and appreciation events during stressful points of the semester, such as finals or midterm season. I think opportunities like these help create stronger personal and professional relationships while contributing to a more positive Senate culture overall. Regarding my timeline, at the beginning of the semester, I would focus on establishing communication and outreach plans. This would include figuring out which RSOs are best suited for each senator and what the best form of communication is between senators and their RSOs. During the first month of the fall semester, I would prioritize initiating RSO outreach and relationship building meetings between senators and RSO leadership. During this time, I would also prioritize building relationships with student government agencies and campus departments to strengthen collaboration early on in the semester. Mid-semester, I would focus more heavily on bonding activities and collaborative events while continuing communication and feedback collection throughout the semester to ensure communication is staying as consistent as possible. To conclude, I believe student government has the ability to make an extremely meaningful impact when students feel connected to the people actually representing them. If confirmed for this role, I would work to create an environment where organizations, senators, and students feel welcomed and comfortable engaging within student government. I also understand that an important part of this position is working closely with agencies and departments across campus. If selected, I would work to maintain strong collaborative relationships with these groups while helping strengthen communication and engagement throughout student government as a whole. Thank you all again for listening to my proposal, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. I yield the rest of my time.
All right, we're now into 10 minutes of questioning. Senator Capinos?
I just had a quick question about your team building activities. I was wondering if you could elaborate on that. I know that last year they had teams where they were a part of intramural sports. I was wondering if that's something that you were also thinking about, or if you were going to take that in a different direction.
Yeah, I am open to that. I would take into account, though, the time stress that many of senators have. We are very busy as students, so hopefully creating more events where more senators are able to actually attend rather than having more of an obligation to attend. So I'm hoping to find a happy medium where people who are interested in intramural sports or sports for that matter would be able to be given that platform, but also understand that there are many students who won't be able to attend that. So hopefully giving those people a chance to attend as many events as possible that don't take up too much of their time like that.
Chair Reed.
Thank you so much for being here today. Do you mind elaborating a little bit further on your increased event presence? More specifically, like what type of events are you trying to get more presence at?
Do you mean regarding RSOs?
In your initiative about increased event presence, so you said encourage Senate representation at major student organization events. So what specifically were you thinking with that?
Yeah, so many of our events, the first one that comes to mind, I am a senator for the College of Medicine. One of the biggest events that happens throughout the RSOs as like a collaboration is Pre-Medical Week that is held by the Knights of Pre-Medicorum. Having a senator go to those events and, you know, show face and introduce themselves would be very helpful, and also keep senators grounded in making a more comfortable environment where people actually feel that they can approach them, and there's more accessibility also, rather than having to create meetings for senators and RSO leadership. Showing face and introducing yourself is something that could not only be helpful for the senator, but also helpful for the students involved. And I would be taking that into account when choosing which RSOs go to which senators. Obviously, it's difficult to have, you know, a business major attend, you know, a medical event. So keeping that in mind, it's just sort of encouraging that if you are able to go, but of course it wouldn't be, you wouldn't get in trouble for not doing that, I suppose.
Senator Rickett. You may.
Yeah, so I didn't think too heavily into that at this point in time. I am willing to go deeper into that. But just on the top of my head, I know that the Lake Nona campus is very disconnected right now, and I would like to have as many senators as possible have more direct connections to those satellite campuses, whether that be that they are in that college or not. So I will be looking more into that, and thank you for that question.
Yep.
No, 100%. I would definitely encourage as many senators to go to as many events as possible, whether that be in their college or not. There are many RSOs that right now that feel underrepresented. When I was first looking into the role as senator and I was doing RSO visits, while explaining what a senator does, I got a lot of feedback of what even is student government. We have a massive budget and we have so many students that are so passionate about student government. So it feels like a travesty to even have that as a question of what is student government. So hopefully showing as much face as possible and encouraging even senators who aren't in that college to show face and introduce themselves is something that I will be heavily implementing throughout my time if I am confirmed as DSER.
Any further questions? Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. And a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 10 minutes of debate. Eli Smith.
Yeah, this candidate seems really qualified. Loved your proposal. Love your ideas. Yeah, I think you're a great fit for this role. So you have my vote. And I urge you guys all to vote in favor.
Senator Barrios.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 31 to 1 to 2, Kayla Moore Montanez is confirmed as DSER. Next is Zoe Malone for Director of Communications.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Good evening, Senators. Thank you for taking this time to be here with me this evening. My name is Zoe Malone, and I'm excited to be appointed as your Director of Communications alongside the other appointees of the Executive Cabinet. I'm currently majoring in psychology on the clinical track, and I'm originally from the beautiful city of Tampa, Florida. Over the past several years, I've had the opportunity to grow both personally and professionally through my involvement within student government and other campus organizations. I previously served as the graphic design coordinator with the Division of Communications under the Bryson Brawley administration and had the honor of being a part of the Executive Leadership Council my freshman year. That experience gave me firsthand insight into both the creative and operational side of communications. While I initially became involved because of my passion for design, I quickly realized that communications is about much more than just creating graphics or managing social media. It is about building connections, sharing information clearly, and helping students feel connected with the work that student government is doing. Beyond student government, I currently serve as a social media and design coordinator for the Black Student Awareness Organization, and through that role, I strengthened my experience in branding, outreach, collaboration, and creating content that grew our community tremendously. The Division of Communications is more than just the division that gives the free shirts. It serves as the bridge between the executive branch and the other branches of student government and the student body by helping showcase the work being done to benefit students every day. The way we communicate shapes the relationship students have with student government, whether that communication comes through social media, newsletters, or even a flyer in the student union. I hope to continue expanding student engagement by creating content that is not only visually appealing and engaging, but informative and relevant to the student experience. If confirmed, one of my primary goals is to strengthen the structure and efficiency of the Division of Communications as a whole. This includes implementing a more organized communications request system, improving project timelines and accountability, and ensuring our branding and messaging remains cohesive across all branches and agencies. During my time as graphic design coordinator, I recognized several areas where workflow and communication could be more streamlined, particularly regarding media request organization and deadline expectations. My main initiative includes implementing a new and more organized communications request system, which works simultaneously with teams, revamping project timelines, and ensuring our work is reflective of the professionalism and integrity of student government. My goal with the system is not only to improve efficiency internally, but also to create clearer communication between the Division of Communications and the branches and agencies we support. By establishing more streamlined processes, I believe we can improve consistency, strength, and accountability and produce higher quality media. I also want to prioritize a division that encourages collaboration, creativity, and growth within each role. I believe that for the Division of Communications to operate effectively, it begins internally, and I'm committed to supporting both coordinators in any way possible. Whether that's through weekly meetings with coordinators and bi-weekly meetings with branch heads, or just being in the office consistently, I feel like being present and available in any way I can will play a vital role in the success of this division. As someone majoring in psychology, communication and understanding people has always been incredibly important to me. I value empathy, professionalism, adaptability, and transparency, and I plan to carry those values into this role in every aspect. I understand that this position comes with significant responsibility, and I'm prepared to meet those expectations with organization, dedication, and a commitment to continuously improve. Thank you again for your time, and if confirmed, I look forward to continuing to serve the student body and working alongside the student government to advocate and support the student body. I yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you. We're now in line for 10 minutes of questioning. Senator Barrios and then Chair Reed.
Thank you for coming out tonight. So I'm looking at your proposal. So right now I'm on the initiatives page and I'm looking under the SG content strategy. I apologize if you said this in your speech and I missed it, but can you expand on what the 40K giveaway is? I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, so one of my biggest initiatives is us hitting 40K on Instagram. We're currently at 34.6K. So this would be an initiative that I propose if we do hit 40K, if we get close to it, to kind of get students to follow and be involved. And I kind of want students to participate in creating either like a tote bag or a shirt with the Division of Communications that students will be able to get.
Thank you again for being here. So how will you ensure that you're collaborating with the other branches and as well as the caucuses to promote initiatives and graphics, equitably between the branches?
Yeah, so obviously we work for the entire student government, not just the executive branch. So I want to propose bi-weekly meetings with branch heads. If we need to meet on a more consistent basis, obviously we can discuss that if confirmed. But I will be in the office pretty consistently. So, if someone needs me, if there's a higher priority event for another branch, obviously I'll be there.
Any further questions? Senator Capinos.
Kind of piggyback off of what Chair Reed was saying is you said that you would include the branch heads in those conversations. Would it be open to including the ELA in that as well?
Absolutely.
Senator Barrios. Oh, I apologize. Senator Smith and then Senator Rickett.
Thank you for that question. It's a great question. Yeah, of course. So as my experience comes from being the graphic design coordinator 2 years ago, I know the brand guidelines like the back of my hand. I do think that it's important to also inform others of what these guidelines are so that everyone's graphics are consistent. But obviously, I don't want everything to look similar. That's boring. We're trying to communicate with students so that content needs to be engaging. But I do think that it's important that everyone has 100% when it comes to how their graphics look and not just executive branch.
Senator Rickett. You may.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. So I think that one of the best things that you can do is have a conversation. Obviously, we want to get the branch heads involved. We want to get those who are budding heads involved and have a conversation and see if we can come to a conclusion. I think that it's important just to communicate. Obviously, that's a part of the director of communications, just having clear conversation, clear standards and guidelines for how people should treat each other in the office. At the end of the day, this is a job. We are all students and everyone should be treated with respect.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't know by heart the articles, but I'm interested in learning more about them if confirmed.
Cherry.
So I know something in the past that has consistently occurred is kind of the overloading for the graphic design coordinator. So as director of communication, how do you plan to kind of help alleviate the overwhelming stress that might be put onto digital media and graphic design?
Yeah, thank you so much for this question. So the thing that I love is that I have experience in both digital media and graphics. I think that it's important that I let them know that I'm here to help them. As someone who served as graphic design coordinator, I know how overwhelming the task can be. So I'm completely open to showing up and helping whenever I need to, but also implementing like templates so that they are not always doing things off the back of their heads, because obviously no one, as students has time to completely make everything from scratch every single time.
Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. And a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 10 minutes of debate. Cherry.
So I'll be voting in favor of this candidate. I had the privilege of being in student government and Senate while she was graphic design coordinator. We also served in the ELC program together, and she's always worked very, very hard and always put 100% energy into whatever position that she had. I really enjoy a lot of her initiatives as well. I think it'll be very cool to see kind of how all of these come to life, and I do believe this individual will work well with the other branches and with the ELA. So I'm excited to see all of this come to light. So I encourage you all to vote in favor as well.
Senator Barrios.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 34 to 0 to 0, Zoe Malone is confirmed as Director of Communications.
Thank you.
Next up is Giuseppe Riccobono for Academic Affairs Coordinator.
Good evening, members of the Student Senate. My name is Giuseppe Riccobono, and I am honored to be considered for the position of Academic Affairs Coordinator for the Vicaria Jones administration. I previously served as Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for Delta Sigma Pi, while also being involved in the Lead Scholars Academy, Student Government Executive Leadership Council, and Night Dawn's Operation Committee. Currently, I serve as a business coach for the Blackstone Launchpad and as the co-founder and executive director of Yay Literacy, an initiative focused on increasing literacy and educational accessibility for underserved students in schools. Through these experiences, I have developed strong leadership, communication, collaboration, and organizational skills that I believe prepare me well for this role. As an immigrant from Venezuela, education has always represented opportunity in my life. Moving to the United States at a young age taught me the importance of accessibility, mentorship, and support systems. Because of that, academic affairs is something I genuinely care deeply about. I want students to feel supported academically, professionally, and personally through their time at UCF. Some of the values we emphasize at UCF through BEAM and the UCF Creed is excellence, scholarship, community, and integrity. I believe academic affairs plays a direct role in helping students embody those values by creating opportunities that allow them to grow both inside and outside the classroom. One of the biggest priorities within my proposal is increasing awareness and accessibility of academic resources that students already have available to them. Through initiatives such as transcript voucher accessibility, Campus Compass awareness and activation, and academic success coach expansion advocacy, I plan to work directly with university departments to better connect students with resources that can help them succeed. These initiatives focus on better connecting students with those resources through outreach, tabling student feedback, and communication, because many students are unaware of resources available to them until they're already struggling. Professional development is also a major focus within my proposal because many students struggle to find accessible opportunities to gain experience and prepare for careers before graduation. Through initiatives such as Early Careers Connect Enhancement, Professional Headshots, the Academic Workshop Series, and the Work Where You Learn Fair, I plan to collaborate with career services, registered student organizations, and academic departments to help students build leadership experience, networking skills, and professional confidence. Mentorship and student connections are also extremely important to me. Through the First Generation Mentorship Initiative, I hope to strengthen mentorship opportunities by connecting students with alumni and campus support systems that can help guide them through their academic journey. Additionally, through Nights Across Colleges, I plan to work directly with senators, deans, assistant deans, and academic leadership from every college to better identify discipline-specific concerns students are facing and collaboratively advocating for solutions that improve communication, accessibility, and student support. I also want to continue supporting and expanding impactful academic affairs initiatives and traditions that students already value. Programs such as TEDx UCF Nights, Cramp for the Exam, Midnight Breakfast, Coffee Breaks, and Career Closets already positively impact students across campus, and I want to continue building upon those initiatives while also introducing new programs such as Pause and Reflect, Global Nights Week, and the Academic Success Pop-Up Series to further support student wellness, engagement, and academic success. Collaboration is one of the most important aspects of this role to me because academic affairs cannot operate independently. I plan to work closely with the Division of Administration regarding budgeting, initiative planning, scheduling, and operational logistics to ensure initiatives remain realistic, sustainable, and impactful. I also plan to collaborate heavily with the Division of Student Affairs to integrate academic initiatives into broader student wellness and engagement programming, while working alongside the Division of Communication and Outreach to ensure students receive clear, accessible, and engaging communication regarding resources and opportunities available to them. Inter-branch collaboration is another major priority of mine. I look forward to working closely with Student Senate, Student Body Advocacy, the Transfer and Inter-Campus Caucus, and the Judicial Branch to gather student feedback, strengthen advocacy efforts across all campuses, and increase awareness of academic-related support systems such as grade appeals, conduct appeals, and impartial advising services that many students do not know are available to them. Most importantly, I want students to feel that academic affairs is approachable, accessible, and active across campus. Through workshops, outreach, RSO collaborations, and academic programming, I want students to know student government is here to support their success. I understand this role requires accountability, professionalism, and strong communication, and if appointed, I will bring energy, organization, collaboration, and genuine passion into this position every day. Thank you again to the Student Senate for this opportunity. I yield the remainder of my time.
All right, we're now in 10 minutes of questioning. Senator Patel. So noted at 7:14 p.m. Senator Berrios.
May I ask two questions?
You may.
Thank you for coming out tonight. So my first question for you is, in your opinion, how important is being present and available for the academic affairs coordinator?
I think being present is one of the most important aspects of this role. I plan to be present not only at the SG office, but also around different academic affairs events and other events to support the student government team.
And then my second question is, I was looking at your resume and it mentioned that you were in the Student Government Leadership Council. Can you tell the Senate body about your committee involvement in SGLC?
Yeah, my committee involvement with SGLC was with the Nighthon committee. However, I will admit that my Nighthon committee involvement with SGLC had to be diminished because I also served part of the Nighthon operations committee, and they collided in times. And with that case, I did fulfill the duties based on the committee with Nighthon overall. However, like the funding that I fundraised, which was over $750, still counted towards our student government team and other RSOs.
Are there any further questions? Delia Capgood.
Thank you for being here. One of the initiatives that
is in your proposal and that you touched on was the academic success coach expansion advocacy, which I think is super important. Could you just expand on that a little bit more, please?
Yeah, 100%. That initiative is for presence to be requested for the academic affairs coordinator. RSOs will be able to request that presence either through Night Connects or a Google Forms. I'm still working on a decision factor for which platform the presence will be requested through, but that's something that I 100% want to execute if confirmed to this role.
Senator Rickett. You may.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you for your question. One of the main things that do start working with career services for this, I also do know that there are some registered student organizations that do offer GMAT prep, one of them being the professional fraternity that I'm a part of, Delta Sigma Pi. And then apart from this, I am pretty sure that other programs at the College of Business also offer GMAT training. But other than that, I 100% want to talk to career services to see how we can expand this opportunity for individuals.
Go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you for your question again. One of my key strategies for this would be maybe partnering with the College of Business. So the College of Business fair is not only limited to College of Business students, but also expanding the opportunity because there are some big companies that are there, such as Bank of New York, Fidelity, and stuff like that, where 100% some skills could be transcribable to their organizations.
Senator Barrios.
So my last question for you is sort of based off of the second one and in relation to SGLC Nithon and your involvement in the operations committee for Nithon. So it makes complete sense that you weren't able to attend committee meetings. You had this commitment. But I was hoping you could explain, from my own recollection, I don't remember you attending any of our specific SGLC events. So could you explain why?
Yeah, so as for the SGLC event, I definitely stop by tabling a lot, but usually when we have SGLC events as well, they also work during our own pushes, which I'm working with the operations committee for as well. However, for all of my absences, I did communicate with the chair for at the beginning of the semester.
Chair Reed.
Could you just kind of talk about your understanding of the scholarship committee?
Yeah, 100%. This is something that I discussed with President Vicaria. The scholarship committee offers obviously funds to individuals, not only just for, honestly, upon my conversation with her, the ability to offer scholarships for this could be for many particular reasons. So specific RSOs can request funding for specific awards that they give, as well as students going abroad can also request funding for that. So it's very a versatile committee for sure.
Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There has been a motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 10 minutes of debate. Ilay Matthews and then Senator Barrios.
So I will be voting in favor. This candidate seems extremely qualified in his ENA meeting as well. His initiatives really stood out, especially all the ones where he's trying to talk about academic coaches and really bring these resources to students. So I encourage everyone to vote in favor.
So I'll admit I was apprehensive at first, which is why I asked the Nighthon questions, but I think you handled those very well. It gave me a lot of perspective that I wasn't aware about. So I was really going to vote against this candidate, but I will say in full confidence, I will be voting in favor of this candidate. He's clearly qualified, even though there were some setbacks in the past with Nighthon. He explained them and he tried his best to show up when he couldn't. And all of his initiatives are sophisticated, and he has a thorough plan on how he's going to get them done. And so I encourage everyone to also vote in favor.
Chair Gaudio.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures. All right, with vote count of 34 to 2 to 0, Giuseppe Riccobono is confirmed as Academic Affairs Coordinator. Next, we have Benjamin Garcia for Athletics Coordinator.
Good evening, Senate. My name is Ben Garcia. I'm a rising sophomore majoring in kinesiology. I plan to become a certified strength and conditioning specialist while also pursuing graduate studies in physical therapy. I aspire to work in a college or a professional sports environment to be part of a larger goal than myself, hence my profound passion for athletics. I'm from Parrish, Florida, a small town outside of Sarasota. Growing up, I've watched the hard work my parents have put into being successful. From hard manual labor to seeing the work of running a business, a strong work ethic has been instilled in me from the start. I believe dedication and proactivity are at the heart of success. I commit this mentality in everything I do, giving full effort in every role, because if you're not going to do something to the best of your ability, then why do it at all? My career path and hobbies are all centered around my passion for the athletics field. As a previous student athlete in high school, I was taught discipline, structure, and how to be a contributing member of a team. I've stayed involved here at college, serving as a student athletic trainer for the UCF football team. Through this experience, I have fostered relationships within the athletics building, and I've gained insight into the effort it takes to have a successful athletics culture. Beyond my love for the sports field, I have a lifelong passion for service. Even throughout high school, when I was the president of the Faraway Friends Club that funded a sister school in Uganda, or when I founded a baseball-centered charity event that raised thousands of dollars for military organizations, I found my identity in supporting others. I strove to find ways to give back once I arrived in Orlando, which led me to apply for my fraternity's external philanthropy position. In this position, I was able to create and successfully run a Pilates philanthropy event. The funds raised went to Nighthon, which was extraordinarily meaningful to me to have found a way to contribute to UCF's premier philanthropy event. My desired next step of involvement is to give back to my community in a different way and serve as a student body as the athletics coordinator of student government. I first joined the student government program on the idea that I could find myself in a position to give back to the student body that I care so deeply about. There are a few better ways to do so than through athletics. Athletics creates a community for students to come together under a shared spirit for our university. These aren't just words, they have the initiatives to back it, such as the Nightwide Week of Play, partnering with the RWC to bring a campus-wide celebration of activity on the university's pickleball courts. I also plan on working with the D&I coordinator as well as the Senate caucuses to hold cultural nights, a showcase of culture during themed athletics events. Working with the Deputy Chief of Staff, I plan to connect students with the downtown campus through an Orlando Magic game as a downtown Magic event. I intend to create a more inclusive and accessible athletic culture by partnering with disability support organizations to further connect students through the goal of increasing adaptive sports awareness. In addition to these new initiatives, I also want to continue efforts towards frost warning to solidify it as a long-standing UCF tradition. With these initiatives, my goal is to further connect our diverse campus under one shared community. My love and pride for this university is unquestionable, and I strive to create campus culture where every student feels connected through the same spirit and community that UCF Athletics has created for me. I'm committed to bringing my passion, initiative, and service into this role. I would be honored to represent the student body as the athletics coordinator. Thank you for your time and consideration. I now yield my time for further questioning or comments.
All right, we're now into 10 minutes of questioning. Senator Barrios.
Thank you for coming out tonight. Again, I have a really bad time with memory, so I apologize if you already said this, but can you explain any potential collaborations with the Sports Club Council?
Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to talk about, it's in my connection, working with Cabinet, part of my initiatives, is I want to expand the club sports, one by promoting them more. One of the first things I want to do is we have a struggle sometimes with smaller sports markets, even through UCF, just our normal Division I teams. And I think there's even more of a disconnect between club teams. So those are two things I really want to address. And then as well as going beyond club for intramurals too, something I wanted to explore was cross-campus intramurals.
Chair Reed.
How do you plan on getting students who are not traditionally engaged with athletics to then become engaged with athletic events?
Thank you for that question, Senator. Well, one of the things I wanted to attack was people who might be like, so for me, I enjoy service as well as athletics, but there's some people I know who are more maybe service oriented, don't have both, that are kind of piquing their interest. So one way I wanted to get people through athletics is by raising awareness of adaptive sports. So that's through my initiative, Buddy Ball Bash, where I plan to work with organizations such as Buddy Ball or Miracle League, which I've a long time volunteer for, and bring in a large scale event to campus where we'd have a adaptive sports baseball game on Memory Mall, or another spot like intramural fields or something like that, where we can then bring people out, organizations, have student government reps, even athletics, to kind of showcase our athletics, not just as the people playing on the field, but also people part of the community. And then also invite people who want to take part in such service, or maybe disability awareness has a deep meaning to them, for them to be able to come out and enjoy that. And then another way is by the reward system that I want to implement. Through that, students would be able to get rewards such as like discounted meals or at games, or maybe facility tours, where that way maybe if they need that extra push to go to some of these games, that they'd be able to through the reward system.
Are there any further questions? Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 10 minutes of debate. Anyone? D-Lake Hapgood.
This candidate has a really wide range of initiatives, which is lovely, and I think they're very qualified. Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 34 to 1 to 0, Benjamin Garcia is confirmed as athletics coordinator. Next, we have Derek Ponto for safety transportation coordinator.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Derek Ponto, and I'm deeply honored to have been appointed as the Safety and Transportation Coordinator for the Vicaria and Jones administration. I'm currently going into my sophomore year majoring in event management, and I plan on adding a minor in communications next year. Leadership has always been a huge part of my life, but honestly, I never expected it to take me to where I am today. I first got involved in student government in high school, where I served as student body president. That experience taught me so much about leadership, teamwork, and what it means to serve others. More importantly, it showed me how much impact student leaders can truly have on the people around them. When I came to UCF, I knew I wanted to continue being involved, but I also knew starting over at a university this large could feel intimidating. That's when I found the Student Government Leadership Council and later the Executive Leadership Council. This experience quickly became more than just a program. It became a place where I found community, purpose, and some of my closest friends. Through ELC, I was surrounded by people who constantly pushed me to grow into a better leader and a better person. The program challenged me to step outside of my comfort zone, build confidence in myself, and realize that leadership is not about titles, it's about service and the impact you leave on others. Receiving the ELC Year of the Year award was one of the most meaningful moments of my freshman year because it reminded me of the work you put into uplifting others never goes unnoticed. Now, stepping into the role of Safety and Transportation Coordinator, if confirmed, I want to have the opportunity to create initiatives that directly impact students' everyday lives. One initiative that I'm especially passionate about is partnering with the Recreation and Wellness Center to host free CPR and basic first aid classes for students. I think giving students life-saving skills is something incredibly valuable, and it's a way we can empower students to feel more confident and prepared in emergency situations. I'm also excited about creating more interactive safety awareness events, specifically an impaired driving awareness event in partnership with UCFPD. Rather than just telling students about the dangers, I want to create an experience that's hands-on, something that leaves students thinking differently long after the event is over. Above all, I want to be someone students feel comfortable approaching. I want to listen to concerns and help make this campus feel safer and more connected for everyone. I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity, and I cannot wait to get to work alongside this administration if given the opportunity. Thank you, and I yield the rest of my time for questioning.
All right, we're now in 10 minutes of questioning. Senator Barrios.
May I ask two?
You may.
All right. Thank you for coming out tonight. So my first question for you is, do you have a cost breakdown on how much your initiatives will be to carry out?
At this time, I do not, but that is something I will be working on if confirmed.
Okay. And then the second question is, in your proposal, you discussed expanding shuttle programs to the Brightline station and for game day. Do you intend to expand these services for students that currently are in residences that our shuttles currently do not go to?
I think that's a great idea to think about. I think starting off with trying to get this program off the ground and running would be kind of having them leave from campus rather than starting with residencies, because I feel like if you were to start there, it'd be a lot more hard to basically start the initiative rather than just starting it from a common ground on UCF, where it could be either people coming from class or going. But yeah, I would very highly consider doing that in the future.
Are there any further questions? Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 10 minutes of debate. Chair Reed.
Yeah, so I'll be voting in favor. I really enjoy a lot of these initiative ideas, and I'm excited to see them be implemented. Also, serving as, coordinator of SLC, I got to see, a little bit of how this candidate developed throughout the year, not just in student government, but in ITHON as well. So I'm very excited to see how this individual continues to grow.
Senator Barrios.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. Yeah, we're not going to be voting in the chat. We'll give us a minute here. We're going to figure it out. All right, we're now in voting procedures. Are there people who are unable to vote? Yeah. Should we reset for 5 minutes? Did it?
The Wi-Fi just.
Allie Matthews?
If you guys go to the chat, you can vote in the chat. If it doesn't come up on this like Teams for you guys, like the poll will come up in the chat box.
Chair Casimiro.
That doesn't show me the poll in the chat.
Eli Smith.
I hit submit and it said something went wrong.
Sounds about right.
I think the Wi-Fi just.
Yeah, it sounds like there's been a problem with the Wi-Fi.
Roll call.
Ashley says roll call. Chair Gaudio, I hate to do it to you.
Alrighty. Am I keeping track of the votes or?
Are you able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Alrighty. Hagenbook.
4.
Reed.
4.
Olivia Smith.
4.
Casimiro.
4.
Capinos.
4.
Wacker.
4.
Critchfield. Jane.
4.
Kelly Perez. Sherman.
Abstain.
Danae Smith.
4.
Elelehi. Gentile.
4.
Greg.
4.
Kaufman.
4.
Licht.
4.
McNulty. Miller.
4.
Patel. Rashid.
4.
Rubio. Thompson. El Harak.
4.
Kanuja. Cronova. Riggett. I am also 4. Hader. Macadia. Phillips. Bouvet.
4.
Montañez.
4.
Nunez Ferreira. Wynn. Habgood.
4.
Perez. Veronica Perez. Barber. Barrios.
In favor.
Grosso. Jones. Matthews.
4.
McRae. Nurse Medevra. Randa.
4.
Scherf. Simmons.
4.
Vieira. Zivin. Callis.
4.
The vote of. Give me a second. With a vote of 37 to 0 to 1, this candidate is confirmed.
Next is Isaiah Romeo for Sustainability, Wellness, and Innovation Coordinator. Isaiah, I apologize. If you could just hit the button on the mic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In and around my community,
As a campus ambassador, I have the honor of being one of the first faces that students see when they come to UCF as I tell them about their next journey. Guiding students across our beautiful campuses, I realize more that this university and its students are so important to me. Being a part of the Student Government Leadership Council has shown me that if given the platform, I will be able to influence change, curate events, initiatives, and opportunities to aid the growth and development of our fellow Knights. Although I just finished my first year here at UCF, I feel as if I have gained the necessary knowledge and experience to fulfill my duties in this role. Within just my first year, I was able to lead our amazing Student Government Knighton team during my time as an SGOCer, where we earned Committee of the Year. This provided me with the chance to work and gain connections with one of the many OSI agencies that make such an impact on this campus. Holding leadership at the collegiate level taught me lessons in communication, compromise, and learning to make something impactful out of nothing but grit, hard work, and unwavering effort. As the community service chair of NAACP, I not only offer assistance in this community, but I gain teamwork and collaboration skills within the e-board and other registered student organizations. Being involved in a diaspora of organizations, I am able to bring a unique perspective to issues regarding sustainability, wellness, and innovation. As I open myself to hear suggestions, concerns, or questions, pulling input from different sides of our community. Additionally, during my summer internship with the City of Miramar, I am learning the inner workings of urban and regional planning. With this knowledge, I can play a key role in the decision-making process for the implementation of key initiatives. Regardless if my time here at UCF has been small, I have taken the initiative to ensure that the impact that I have made is mighty. I can confidently say that I am ready to take on the duties as a Sustainability, Wellness, and Innovation Coordinator. There is this motto that I have grown to live by ever since I became a Boy Scout in elementary school. That motto is leave no trace. Whether we were camping, hiking, or having our weekly meetings, that motto would be etched into every Scout's mind. The motto leave no trace sticks with me today because it means more than just cleaning up after yourself or making sure I do not negatively affect the environment around me. As I grew older, I came to the realization that as leaders, our job is to leave a trace. Or as my parents tell me, leave it better than you found it. That is my intention as I stand before you. If confirmed, I intend to leave UCF sustainability, wellness, and innovation efforts, the executive branch, and student government as a whole, better than I found it. By infusing my ideas with previous initiatives, I hope to change the duties of this role for the better, and that comes first with accountability and willingness to learn. Therefore, within my first 30 days as coordinator, I will establish communication within each of these sectors, including caucuses within student government, to not only discuss my plans, but ensure that I can place my best foot forward in offering assistance and receiving guidance. I will also be willing to take constructive criticism from my fellow cabinet members, as I hope they will keep me accountable. In turn, I will not be narrow-minded. I will assist my fellow cabinet members wherever and whenever I can, as we web our skill sets together to ensure that this administration is as great as I know it can be. My predecessors have done an outstanding job with this position, especially in regards to sustainability. But my goal in this administration is to increase our mark on wellness and innovation, and make it a point to highlight all three of these pillars: sustainability, wellness, and innovation. Three words that often have ambiguity. During my time in this role, I will dissect each pillar and analyze how I can best use my resources to better it for our student body. I will spearhead initiatives to educate students on environmental sustainability, but not forget to increase awareness in social or economic sustainability. Just as I intend to promote physical and mental wellness and not neglect spiritual or emotional wellness. Additionally, innovation will be highlighted in STEM fields along with all of our other disciplines here at UCF. This role requires attention and inclusion in all aspects of the three main umbrellas. And if confirmed, I will make it my mission to arrange events and manage initiatives that present the true meanings behind sustainability, wellness, and innovation. They say home is where the heart is, and I am so thankful for student government for opening up a home away from home where I can beam, living out my passion to help others, curating spaces where students can evolve. Thank you, senators, for your time. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all, and I yield my time for questioning.
All right, we're now in 10 minutes of questioning. ELA Smith.
How would you track the impact or success of your sustainability initiatives?
Yes. So if you look at my proposal, you can see the STARS analysis. This is not just how I would measure my impact, but UCF as a whole uses the STARS analysis to measure the sustainability impact. Now, to answer your question for wellness and innovation, I would use the different aspects like leading on my cabinet members and the other branches to get feedback to see how I'm doing on my events. Also using the SBA committee at Senate to see if at my events they can table to see whether student feedback is coming through for wellness, sustainability, and innovation. Thank you for the question.
Senator Capinos.
Thank you for joining us here tonight. I just had a question about your safety and transportation initiative with the coordinator. Is that you would have something called a shuttle week, and I was wondering if the amount of money that you would allocate to that initiative for the T-shirts and the crew necks and the tote bags, along with the possible scholarship entry. I was wondering how much of the budget you're thinking about allocating to that, or if you could elaborate that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for that question. My first step in that initiative is to talk with the comptroller, not only the comptroller, but the director of communications to see, hey, what graphics can we get on these shirts? How much will that cost? And then over there, talk to the comptroller to see, hey, what is my budget looking like? And compared to the rest of cabinet, see, hey, am I using the right amount of budget to do what I can do? And from there, I would discuss whether it's feasible for me to proceed with this initiative. Thank you for the question.
Chair Reed and then Senator Rickett.
Thank you. So I see that in your collaboration with the other executive members, you outlined with Day at the Capitol and the Government Affairs Coordinator that you want to talk about high impact research. With UCF being such an innovative university, oftentimes during Day at the Capitol, we do bring a lot of research initiatives and advocacy agendas. However, I'm interested to know if you plan on talking about sustainability at all during Day at the Capitol, and if so, how do you plan on incorporating that?
Yes, so as a Sustainability Wellness and Innovation Coordinator, I plan on working very closely with the Sustainability Caucus. From there, I will talk with the Sustainability Caucus chair and see what are different things that I think are super important to not only UCF, but your greater Orlando area. And from there, seeing what legislation can we talk about at the Day of the Capitol to not only improve or push legislation, but also what is going to affect our students directly. Thank you for the question.
Senator Rickett. You may.
So my father is working at FPL, which is basically Florida Power and Light. That's basically the energy company here, not in Florida. So he teaches me a lot about hurricane safety. So the first thing I would work on is safety here at UCF. With that, I would work in tandem with the Safety and Transportation Coordinator and see if we can discuss any safety tips or aspects that we can do to ensure that students here on campus that are definitely staying on campus during that hurricane are safe. Because our priority here at UCF is for our students to be safe. So as student government, we should push for that fact. Thank you for the question.
Go ahead.
Okay, yes. So if you've seen like the hydroponic plants here, like at the main campus, I think that's something small that we can push towards for the downtown Rosen and the different campuses that we have. So just putting like little things like hydroponic plants, just to show that we have a beautification process to make our campuses beautiful. Because I, as a downtown ambassador, I go to that campus and it's really just concrete and maybe some posters. So just having different things that we can do to just beautify our campus and show students that, hey, there's green outside. So thank you for that question.
Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're in 10 minutes of debate. ELA Smith and then Vice Chair Wacker.
I think this candidate has really well thought out initiatives. I love that there's like a timeline almost for all of them. It just is it seems very practical and thoughtful. Yeah, I really like it. I'll be voting in favor, and I urge you guys all to do the same.
I agree with all of that. And then I think this candidate seems like someone who's really well prepared, well experienced, who's ready to take initiative and is driven to carry out his goals. And I think that's very clearly shown in all of his proposals and everything he said. I agree with pretty much everything that he said today. I'm very interested. All right, I liked the religious resource fair and especially the Unite the Night roundtable, and which encourages cross-major collaboration, as you mentioned in your proposal.
And I think that's something that's definitely a priority for me and some of my fellow senators. So it seems to me that this candidate has a clear goal of bringing students together on campus. And I think that's an absolute priority when it comes to taking care of students here and improving the student experience at UCF. So I'll definitely be voting in favor, and I encourage everybody else to as well.
Deezer Montanez.
Yeah, so when hearing our candidates speak, I did notice that you focus on every aspect of the job, not just sustainability, not just innovation. So I truly appreciate that. I will be voting in favor.
Senator Barrios.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 34 to 0, Isaiah Romeo is confirmed as Sustainability, Wellness, and Innovation Coordinator. Next, we have Gabrielle Jean-Jacques for Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator, whenever you're ready.
communities and student life for students in the career tangible.
All right, we're now in 10 minutes of questioning. Delay Capgood.
Hi. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. I have a question about your Faith Leaders and Mental Health Counselors Roundtable. Would this be like a one-time event or kind of like an ongoing collaboration?
Are there any further questions? Senator Barrios?
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Senator Rickett, is that an objection? Any objections to moving to debate? Seeing none, we're now in 10 minutes of debate. Senator Smith? Chair Jones and then Senator Rickett. Senator Rickett. There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 33 to 0, Gabrielle Jean-Jacques is confirmed as Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator. Next, we have Valeria Bastidas for Digital Media Coordinator. All right, we're now in 10 minutes of questioning. Chair Reed and then Senator Barrios.
Thank you for being here tonight. How do you plan on collaboratively working with the other branches and ensuring that they're being represented equitably across social media platforms?
May I ask two questions?
You may.
All right. So thank you for being here. So my first question for you is, can you provide specific things that would be debunked in your Mythbusters initiative? All right. And then my second question is, what specific campus resources are students not aware about that will be in your Tuition at Work initiative?
Senator Rickett.
Things
Chair Reed.
Do you have any ideas on how you want to reach students, not just through social media, but through other ways as well?
Are there any further questions? Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 10 minutes of debate. D. Sir Montanez and D. Lake Hapgood.
Something that I've noticed in the past within social media is it seems the executive branch was the only thing that was kind of highlighted. Not many students knew what the judicial branch or what Senate does for them. It was mentioned in the discussion, and the candidate seemed open to having more opportunities to display the different branches, not just cabinet. So that is something that is the reason why I will be voting in favor for this candidate.
This candidate is very qualified, and I appreciate that she included some of her portfolio in her proposal. Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 33 to 1 to 0, Valeria Bastidas is confirmed as Digital Media Coordinator. And last, we have Valeria Bourbano Perez for Graphic Design Coordinator. All right, thank you. We're now in line for 10 minutes of questioning. Eli Smith.
Hi. We talk a little bit about sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. We talk a little bit about never mind.
Any other questions? Sherry.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here today. So, that's weird. How can you how do you plan on educating, individuals as well as, in student government, kind of about what we should be following in terms of branding guidelines and what we should really be focusing on in terms of reaching out for graphics? Yeah, I'm so sorry if that made absolutely no sense. But in the past, working with the director of communications as well as the entire comms team, they had specific branded guidelines that they wanted the rest of student government to follow. So I was just curious if you had anything that you wanted us to know about, branded guidelines or anything that we should be reporting in terms of how we should be having engaging content.
Eli Smith.
I'm so sorry. It came back to me. In your proposal, you mentioned doing a basic graphic design training for multiple branches. Can you just kind of go into more of that process?
Are there any further questions? Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 10 minutes of debate. Eli Smith.
Okay, so sorry about that, but you answered the question beautifully. I think, again, these initiatives are really well thought out. I really like your cross-organization collaborations initiative. I think your portfolio is amazing. It's just, yeah, you're a great candidate. I'm voting in favor, and I urge you all to do the same.
Chair Jones. There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 35 to 0 to 0, Valeria Bourbano Perez is confirmed as graphic design coordinator. And that is our last confirmation. Congratulations again to all the new members of the Executive Cabinet. We have no internal legislation. Senate Forum, Chair Reed.
So, yeah, I was asked to share this with my work, which is the College of Arts and Humanities. But basically, every summer they host, the Theater UCF hosts what's called Pegasus Play Lab, which is where playwrights from around the world get to come in and workshop their written plays, and they're put on by UCF students. So if you're interested, I'm probably going to post a flyer in the Senate channel so y'all can see it. But yeah, it's super cool.
Chair Gaudio.
Yes. So regarding the absence tracking sheet, I'm telling everyone here that I built the new sheet from the ground up from scratch. So if you notice any weird errors or issues, please let me know. I cannot guarantee it is completely free of bugs.
All right, any other senators wishing to speak in Senate forum? Seeing none, we'll go to Senate deliberation. Just briefly for newer senators, this is sort of an open discussion period. Max of 20 minutes just for any topic that a senator wants to bring up and sort of discuss with the body. So Senator Barrios, if you just want to briefly outline that, and then anyone who is wishing to speak can do so.
All right, thank you. So before I begin, I just want to say I am thoroughly impressed that we were able to get through all those confirmations before it even hit 8:20. I was shocked. But let me not waste your time. Good evening, Senate. Today I aim to briefly discuss an initiative I wanted to complete in the Student Government Office. After having a discussion with our advisor, Ashley, I deemed it would be best to consult you all about what action should be taken. In the Student Government Office, there is a TV that is not utilized and goes through pre-recorded slides of the UCF campus. I believe this can be changed to best serve students, and one idea I had was to incorporate a centralized listing of all on-campus jobs at UCF. This will not be an easy task. 1, jobs are constantly changing, whether it is because a position is filled or because there is a new role. And 2, finding what jobs are currently available across UCF's various departments and agencies, including one's SG funds, are not easy to come across. I was hoping to brainstorm with the Senate body on who would be interested in collaborating with me on this, if they have any suggestions, if they have any ideas, because this is not something that can be done in a single day, and it will probably take weeks before this would be up and running. So if you guys have your thoughts, I would appreciate it greatly.
Senator Kapinos, Eileen Matthews.
When you're talking about the TV that's going through you said the pre-recorded slides and that you wanted to include this, do you also want to bring this to, there's this large metal display. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's right next to the entrance to the SG office. It used to be on. I don't remember what it showed. I think it was something similar. Is that what you're referring to, or are you referring to the actual TV?
I was referring to the actual TV. I think it's by the chairs. So I was referring to the actual TV because when I'm in the Student Government Office, a lot of people are usually like idling. And so just quickly glancing at that might catch a student's attention. And I hope that answers your question. It's the TV in front of the desk.
Yeah, because I was thinking that if we wanted to include something like that also for that large metal display, because we could put the display outside of the SG office. And so it could be like another resource that the SG office offers the student body, because it would allow them to have a little bit more visibility to that. So if that's something that we want to go forward with, I would propose that too.
The best resource I can offer is Handshake. They're going to have all of our on-campus jobs, and also like OSI, like with Ashley, can provide you all this information.
ELA Smith, Senator Rickett, Chair Grosso.
Okay, I guess my biggest question is just, and you might have already said this. It's gonna sorry. Is just who's gonna be in charge of keeping that up and updating it and all of that?
So I guess I get personally, I'm fine doing it, but eventually I'm not going to be here. So if this is a consistent thing that we want to do, maybe we can assign it to one of the Senate leadership. But as of right now, I'm fine taking the charge for it. But if Senate leadership wants to work with me on that and make that their personal project and I can help them, I'm completely fine with that as well. I just want to get it up and running as soon as possible because it's not easy at all. I was looking at the reason why it's so difficult is because there are a lot of job listings that students are not going to have access to, specifically on Workday. There is over 150 federal work study jobs that I had no clue existed. And so the biggest hassle that the Senate body will have is actually finding all of those and updating it. So yeah, sorry for that jargon.
Senator Rickett.
So I didn't. I actually had no clue what that was until you just mentioned it. So to answer your question, it would include all on-campus jobs. So I would be very willing to include that in the job listing. Just whatever has the most opportunities for students is all I care about.
Chair Grosso.
Um, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to best answer your question. So the main concern with Handshake is that, yes, it has a lot of jobs. However, it does not include federal work study. And federal work study is a very big part of students who have financial needs, particularly with FAFSA. And those jobs are only listed on, from what I found, they're only listed on Workday. And so students might not all have a Workday account, and just having those listings in the SG like TV is important. And I see what you're saying. It's low traffic compared to the rest of the student unit. And we can always, there's nothing limiting us from utilizing multiple TVs. I mean, there's a lot of things that are just cycling that don't particularly help students. And I'm open to not only including that in the SG office, but we can include it in the student unit as well.
Senator Critchfield, Senator Rickett.
Right. I understand what you're saying, but the federal work study students, they have access to the account after the fact. Students who do not have a work study or are trying to are going to have difficulty because they are predominantly located on Workday. So you would already have to have that account by finding access to a federal work study somehow. But when I tried to look for it, I was struggling until I actually found Workday, and I had to use several AI to help me find it. But as far as the SGTV, I'm fine if it's not going there, but I just want it to be somewhere where students see it. The reason that I suggested it on the TV is because it's literally just pre-recorded slides and it does nothing. It's very unhelpful.
Senator Rickett.
Yeah, I would be more than willing to do that. I'll actually get on that tomorrow. Thank you for that.
Go Vieira, Miller, Simmons.
Yeah, absolutely. I am sort of hesitant on a newsletter though, because I want the main reason that prompted this is that there's no centralized location for all of these jobs, and that's the issue. So a student should not be searching for hours. It literally took me hours to find all of these jobs. A student should not be searching for that when they all have all the tremendous stressors of college. But I didn't consider a newsletter, but I would be more than willing to talk about it more.
Okay. I think this is a great idea. Okay. I really do. I think the biggest thing running through my head right now is it would be so hard to update. I feel like these jobs are changing all the time. And I did do an initiative at some point with court, and I know there's a lot of screens in the union that could be utilized maybe over the TV in our office. I think maybe you contact just like the student union about that. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think maybe we just look at different places in the TV in the office specifically.
Miller.
I loved your idea. I don't want to stray too far from it. I do want to say, as the previous senator said, it's going to be hard to keep updating the job postings. So instead, maybe just show how to find these jobs so it'd be easier for students to just walk by, see the presentation, be like, oh, this is how I look for a job, instead of wondering, oh, let me look at the new positions, and you keep having to update new positions. They can go and look at these positions themselves.
Simmons.
Yeah, I was going to say like a very similar thing to that. I think just how often the jobs are changing, it would just be almost impossible to keep it like completely updated all the time. And like you said, finding Workday was like your biggest issue. So I think maybe just pushing resources like about just how to find Workday would be a lot more efficient than trying to constantly update all the jobs that are available.
All right. I feel like okay.
Really quick. I think that back to this metal screen thing that I'm talking about. I think there's multiple of them too. There's not just the one in the office. They're scattered throughout the union. And so I'm saying that I think that, let's say we can't get access to the TVs, or let's say we don't like the location within the office. The slide that they already go through, I'm not sure who controls that, but I think that doing a hybrid of what the previous two senators were talking about, of having some of the jobs listings, and then how do I get to those jobs? Oh, I go through Workday, or I go through Handshake, or I go through Nightline, or I go through these different ways of getting to these jobs. I think that having that in those screens, it could also be beneficial, but that's the end of what I'll say.
All right. I just want to say one final note, because I know we're running low on time. So going back to the senators who were who had a concern about it being too much for us as far as updating, I hear that, and that's a really big issue, but that's also sort of why I proposed it to you, because there's 48 of us. We don't have to have one person doing it. We could quite literally, I don't think there's anything stopping us from all working on it, and we can just have like little sections that we designate to each other. It could be by college. If you thought about it that way, we could potentially have, I don't know, I'm using arbitrary number like 10 jobs assigned, and that's already 480 jobs that we're updating, that we're working on. It's just an idea, but I hear what you guys are saying, and I'm open to the other ways that other senators have mentioned as well.
All right. That was a great discussion. Lots of new voices. You love to see it. I'd encourage everyone who's interested in talking about this more to do so with Senator Berrios outside of Senate, perhaps next week. We'll move on to advisor's report. Ashley.
Happy Thursday, good people. Truly happy to hear so many voices that have not spoken in the last 3 weeks. So that was awesome. So another round of congratulations for our newly elected vice chairs. Go ahead, clap it up. Yes, I know we have a couple more pending, so you will hear this again from me next week to make sure everyone is included. This week, just so you all know, I have been doing tons of one-to-ones with our leadership team, with our chairs, pro temp's office, speaker's office, and kind of going through everyone's initiatives, some how-tos, all the good stuff. And so I'll be starting my rotations of one-to-ones with folks on a more consistent basis, so I'm kept in the loop with all the things. Also, I've had a couple of meetings with senators about individual or college initiatives, and I love it. Keep it coming. That's what I'm here for, is to help you talk through things as well with your ELA, with other folks if you are worried about where to start. That's what I'm here for. You don't know who I know, and we don't know who I don't know, right? So that's something, if I can get you connected, I will always be happy to do so. As we settle into our committees and Senate as a whole, like I said, I am so looking forward to hearing more voices during debate, during questioning, as y'all get in the swing of everything, right? Like, we are learning the questions to ask. We are learning what it is that we do, right? And so I'm looking forward to hearing folks that we don't hear quite frequently. I try to pop into committees as much as I can. So I know that's another space that folks will kind of get in the groove of things. Just so you all know, speaking of jobs, one of our event coordinators with the student union reached out and let me know that they are hiring 4 event assistants. I put the quote that she has there: "The role is a great hands-on experience for students looking to build skills in event coordination, customer service, communication, and campus operations." If this is something that you're interested in, let me know. I can get some more information for that for you all. Or if you know someone who would be interested, send them my way and I can get them connected with that event coordinator. And I will facilitate that. And so the National Day of was kind of lacking today. So that's why you see 3. I did it for the past 3 days. So drum roll, please. All right. So May 25th was National Tap Dance Day, if there are any tap dancers around. May 26th was Paper Airplane Day for anyone who loves to do that origami type stuff. And then May 27th, this is a shout out, was National Errand Day. So Senator Wacker, that was your day to shine. Or Vice Chair Wacker, I should say, sorry. So that is it for me. Any questions?
Any questions for Ashley? Seeing none, Maite.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so I've noticed that some of you have been experiencing issues when trying to vote. So, 2 things. If you are trying to vote and it doesn't let you, you might have to update your Microsoft Teams. If it doesn't work, I will ask you to please send me your votes through email and to Ashley as well, okay? So I can make sure that I have the right data when creating the voting record. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Any questions for Maite? Seeing none, miscellaneous business. This week, it looks like there was some more interest in shuffling around committees. So does anyone have any resignations, appointments they'd like to get in this week? If not, we'll get into appointments. I appoint Kayla Barrios and Danica Gentile to CRT, Olivia Smith to E&A, Nicholas Lush and James Capinos to GAP, Matthew Gregg and Daria Krynova to SBA. I resign Olivia Smith and Nicholas Lush from CRT, Nicholas Lush from E&A, Daria Krynova and Zachariah Rashid from ORS, and Kayla Barrios, Morgan Sharif, and Danica Gentile from SBA. Senator shoutouts. Eileen Matthews, Senator Capinos.
Okay, I have 3. Sorry, guys. First shout out to Veronica because I see you. Thank you for having so many meetings with me and Olivia about your tabling stuff. I'm so excited to see it come out. Shout out Kayla because you are doing an 8 to 5 at the office every single day, and I see that dedication. And wait, Loki, I forgot my last one.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to shout out Anna Reed. You are very funny. I look over there and just can't stop laughing. Shout out to my College of Business Senators. There's only 3 of us. We are standing strong. Shout out to all the new senators. For those that spoke up, it's great to hear your voices in chamber to get new opinions and ideas. Shout out Caleb. I always appreciate your wisdom and always speaking up too. Shout out to everyone who has their cameras on. Love to see you. And shout out to Nathan Rickett for when your camera's on. It's very funny.
Deezer Montanez, Chair Reed, Senator Barrios.
I have to shout out 3 people. Shout out to the speaker for calling me Deezer because it sounds super nice, and I didn't even realize that it would automatically be implemented. So like when I was in the discussion and I raised my hand, I was pleasantly surprised, and the person automatically saw me smile. So shout out to you. Shout out to Ryan. He's been amazing throughout this entire process of like getting my confirmation. And shout out to Jimmy, my mentor. You guys have been so helpful. I've been so nervous. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I was literally shaking. But you guys have been so amazing throughout this process. I'll do you proud.
Okay. Shout out Gap, guys. I'm so excited. I have some really cool guest speakers hopefully lined up that I am reaching out to. So I hope if you're not in Gap, you're getting FOMO. Big shout out to ELA Smith for taking on the ELA role, my legacy, and being my seat buddy. I finally have one, so that's awesome. Shout out ILA Matthews because she's got me food twice this week, which is really beautiful. Oh, coffee and food. So yeah.
All right, guys. I know I've said it before. Shout out everyone. I am so nothing can like possibly explain how shocked I am that we got through all the confirmations and there's still 20 minutes. Like I was dreading once again having to go until 9, but you guys have proved me wrong 2 for 2. So thank you guys.
Okay, guys, I remembered. I wanted to shout out Jimmy and Anna because I'm so excited to see you guys back because I've been seeing you guys on the teams and FaceTiming you. So now we're back.
Eli Smith, Pro Tem Coffee.
Okay, I didn't have anything prepared, so I'm going off the cuff. Thank you, which we know how that goes. Okay, thank you guys for bearing with me. Honestly, that is my biggest shout out. Thank you guys for bringing good ideas. There's been so many good ideas shared tonight. I'm so proud of you guys for that. Yeah, and for just like, having a good conversation. I'm so excited for all of that. Yeah, so shout out to everyone who spoke up today. That's my biggest thing. And all the new vice chairs. Yay.
Shout out to the deputies. I'm so excited to have you guys in now. Shout out to Deezer Montanez for bringing her digital camera today. It's going to be great. Little photo shoot after at the speaker's office. Yeah, and I'm super excited to work with everyone.
Chair Perez. Any other shout outs? All right. Shout out ILA and ELA. Both have gotten really into it, which I've been very glad to see. Shout out everyone in Senate leadership and everyone who participated today. And shout out Ryan, who has an incredible end of meeting thing that he's going to tell you about right now.
All right. So every session, the pro temp usually has like a fun segment at the end of the meeting to kind of keep the spirits up. Last session, Pro Temp Hamid had Hamid's Habitat, where senators could submit pictures of their pets for the agenda. Today, we're going to launch Kaufman's Cradle. Every week, I'll be taking submissions of your baby photos, and everyone will have to guess who that senator is. So I think this could be fun. We could try it out, see how it goes. So please, if you want to be featured, submit any pictures to me throughout the next week so we can start this segment next week.
Looking forward to it. I will take a motion. Senator Capinos.
Motion to adjourn this meeting pending final roll call.
There's been a motion to adjourn pending final roll call and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Chair Gaudio.
Hagenbuck.
Present.
Reed.
Present.
Olivia Smith.
Present.
Casimiro.
Present.
Capinos.
Present.
Wacker.
Present.
Critchfield. Jane.
Present.
Kelly Perez. Owen Sherman.
Present.
Danae Smith.
Present.
Belilehi. Gentile.
Present.
Greg,
Present.
Kaufman,
Present.
Licht, McNulty, Miller,
Present.
Patel, Rashid,
Present.
Rubio, Thompson, El Harak,
Present.
Kanuja, Cronova, Riggett, Hader, Magadia, Phillips, Boisvert,
Present.
Montañez,
Montañez, present.
Nunez Ferreira, Wynn, Habgood,
Present.
Veronica Perez, Barber, Barrios,
Present.
Grosso, Jones, Matthews,
Present.
McRae, Nurse Madavra, Rhonda,
Present.
Sheriff, Simmons,
Present.
Vieira, Zivin, Callis.
Present.
38 out of 49.
All right, thank you. I adjourn this meeting at 8:45 p.m.
The only issue you have is you're pronouncing the A with an accent. It's not Montañez, it's Montañez.